Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is your boy Tim back with another video, and this is going to be a walk and talk video. Haven't done one of these in a while. These are like my favorite videos to make. Haven't done one of these in a while. I don't live on grounds now anymore at the YMCA, so whoo, that got dark real quick. Let me get out these shadows. Let me get out these shadows, get some sunlight here. Y'all can see a brother. Anyway, like I was saying, I don't live on grounds at the YMCA anymore. I still work there, but I live in town now. So I'm not, I don't have that easy walkable access to Rocky Mountain National Park like I used to on a daily basis. So a lot of times on my days off, I don't come to the park. So I haven't been doing these walk and talks because I've been chilling in my apartment on my days off. But today I said I'm going to do a walk and talk. I'm gonna go into Rocky Mountain National Park. Apparently, I think the government shutdown's still in effect, so the park's supposed to be closed. But if the park's closed, ain't no rangers here to tell me I can't be here, so we outside. We in the park. The crazy thing is, like this time of year, there's typically nobody comes in this area. This is why I like walking in this area. There's never anybody here, but there's footprints all over the place. Like, I don't know if y'all can see, but there's footprints all over the place. So maybe because I think you can't drive in the park, everybody's walking in, and I think a lot of people know that you can walk in from the YMCA. So yeah, there's footprints everywhere. I've only met one person. Actually, it was crazy. When I was coming in, I rounded the corner and there was a guy sitting on some rocks, and I was just like, "Oh, hey, how are you doing?" He kind of surprised me. I didn't know nobody was there, so I rounded the corner and there's a dude sitting there. So I'm like, "Oh, hey, how are you doing?" And he was like, "Are you Timothy?" And I was just like, "Yeah." And apparently he's working here now. He had seen one of my videos, and I believe we'd talked back and forth on YouTube before. So that was super cool. Stood and talked to him for a while. It's like I did what I always do. I laughed like nervously for like 30 seconds because it's always weird when someone recognizes me. Like, I never know what to say. I always just go. I laughed nervously for a while, but super cool guy. He's actually going to be in housekeeping. I think starting this week, next week. So get to work with him. That'll be awesome. But yeah, we're just out walking around. I'm actually headed back in. I'm doing laundry as well. See, I'm multitasking. I'm doing laundry. I'm out here making videos. I'm just making it work. Life's short. You got to multitask. Anyway, what I wanted to talk about today is shooting your shot. Okay? That has been like my go-to phrase for like the past month. I'm sure the people I work with are getting tired of hearing it. I was playing basketball. The other night, and I wouldn't stop saying it. I was like, "Shoot your shot, shoot your," but I say it all the time. It's basically, shoot your shot means, just go for it. If you have an opportunity, go for it. And I think that doesn't happen enough in life. I think in life we don't shoot our shot enough. A lot of times, out of fear, we're afraid, we don't shoot our shot, we don't go for it. And what happens is we end up with a lot of regrets. And regret is like, where's the trail go? Okay. It's been a while since I've been here, so I'm trying to make sure I know where I'm going. I feel like regret is one of the worst things in life because you can't fix it. If you miss your shot, if you miss your chance, and then you're looking back saying, "Man, I should have went for that, I should have done that," there's nothing you can do about it. Even if by some chance you get the opportunity again, you still wasted a ton of time. Like, there's nothing you can do about regret except tell yourself that in the future you're going to seize every opportunity. You're going to seize the day. You're going to shoot your shot every chance you get. And a curious thing happens. And I'm learning this. Like, I definitely am talking to myself on this one. But I've noticed, like, the people who do seize the moment and the people who do go for it, curious thing happens is that they end up with like all the success, even if there's a lot of failures. Well, I'll break this down in terms of, say, like dating, because it makes it easy. You know those guys or those girls that have no qualms about walking up to anybody and being like, hey, you want to go out and get something to eat sometime? Grab a coffee, get a drink? There's some people out there who have no problem doing that. That would absolutely slay me. Tim ain't walking. Even as like, you know, on this path in life, the strides I've made, the changes I've made, it's still hard for me to just walk up to a random person and ask them out. Can't do it. I shouldn't say can't do it. Hard for me to do. But I have friends who've always done it, and they get rejected all the time. They get rejected tons of times. But they always end up out with chicks. Like my buddy, I got a buddy back home. This guy just has so much self-confidence. He's always, any chick, any female he saw, he'd be like, I'm gonna go ask her out. And we'd be like, no way you're gonna get with her. And he'd be like, eh. And so he'd walk over there and he'd shoot his shot. And she'd look at him like he was crazy and say no. And we'd all laugh. And he'd be like, eh, there's more out there. And so I seen that scene play out dozens of times. But then he was always the one on some random Saturday when we were all just sitting around, bunch of dudes. He'd always show up to my apartment, my trailer, with some hot chick we never knew. Like, you know, we had all the girls that were like in our circle, we all knew. But he was the one always showing up with, you know, fresh meat. with the chicks we didn't know. And then all the laughter stopped. We'd be like, where'd you meet her? And he'd be like, she was at the Subway. I just asked her out. She said, yeah. And like consistently, he always, even though he got rejected all the time, he consistently won more than any of us because we were scared to ever go for it. We never went for it. You know, if the conditions were right, we'd go for it. I mean, don't get it twisted. We still was doing our thing, but not like on his level. Because, you know, the conditions had to be right. We had to know her for a while. There had to be no one around. We had all these excuses that kept us from, like, going for it. He didn't have any of that. He just went for it. And in his mind, it was super easy. He's like, if I see a hot chick, I ask her out. She says no, whatever. She says yes, great. And I think too, part of it was he honestly didn't care. He honestly was the same dude, whether she said no or she said yes. In his mind, he's like, if she says yes, good for her, because she's gonna have a fun time with me. If she says no, well, that's her loss. Like, he really felt that way. And I was always kind of like jealous about that kind of level of self-confidence / arrogance. But, and the thing I noticed too is that I think the more, you know, because I don't think he started out totally like not caring about rejection. But I just think over time he realized that it did not matter. Over time he just didn't care. And I think that's true in life. Like, if we can try things, if we can shoot our shot enough times, that the failures don't bother us, that the failures are just that if we can get to the point where failure is just commonplace, then no one can stop you. If you can get to the point where failing doesn't bother you, you can get to the point where you try something, you try super hard at something, it doesn't work out, and you just go, I'll figure something else out. How can anyone stop you in life? If failure doesn't matter to you, there's no stopping you. You are dialed in. But the only way to get there, the only way to get to the point where you're unbothered by failing, is you gotta try. You know, if you're sitting back in the wings, scared to do things, no matter what it is in life, for a lot of people it is approaching people, asking for dates, things like that. But it can also be starting a business. It can also be quitting your job. It can also be saying the things you need to say in life. You know, it can also be taking up a life of travel. whatever it is. If you wait in the wings and you're waiting for the perfect opportunity and you're scared to act, you're scared to move. And like I say, once again, I'm definitely still talking to myself here. If you're just waiting, scared, then you'll never get to a point where you're unbothered by failure. You know, if you only try once every 5 years, if you fail, it's really gonna bother you. And you might not try for the next 10 years after that. Like if you only go for it when conditions seem perfect, if you only go for it when you feel like all the stars are aligned and you think it's definitely gotta work out this time and it doesn't work out, then you're never gonna go for it again. I feel like part of the secret is going for it when you don't think it's gonna work out. Going for it when you have reservations. Going for it when you're like, you know what? This could end badly. Because part of that is that if it does end badly, you're like, I knew this was a possibility. If it doesn't end in failure, you're like, I thought I might fail. But if it works out, the confidence boost you get, not only you reap the rewards of whatever it is that you were doing, but also that confidence boost. If you can look back and be like, I really wasn't sure that this was going to be a thing, but I went for it. Woo, that got bright. I've been trying to find like cool camera angles, and sometimes they fail. I try to like turn the camera, get all fancy, show some scenery behind me. Sometimes it doesn't work out, but like I was saying, if you can shoot your shot when you're pretty sure you're gonna miss, if you make it, it's like in basketball. If you jack up that three because someone's all in your face, and you don't think you're gonna make it, and it hits, whammo! It's highlight reel time. You know, you're like, wow. You go, and what do you always do? You try it again. You ever notice that? Like if you're playing basketball and you make like an impossible shot, you don't just shut it down for the night. You try to take that shot 1-2 more times just to see if maybe that's your shot now. It never is, but but I feel like that's true in life as well. Like if you can try something and go for it when everybody around you saying don't do it, when everybody around you is like that's a bad idea, are you crazy? If you go for it and you make it work, wow, then A, they all gotta like eat crow and shut up. Or more importantly, you know, that may help some of them to take some actions they were scared to do, but it also helps your self-esteem immensely. And guess what? Next time you have an opportunity, it's getting, sorry I'm looking down so much folks, there's rocks. Next time you have an opportunity to do something, even if it doesn't look like, you know, it might be the best odds of winning, you're gonna be like, I got this. You're gonna shoot that same wild half-court shot again just to see if that's your shot. And the good news is life isn't totally like basketball. It's not a perfect analogy. So a lot of times in life when you take those crazy chances again, it works out again. That's the way life works. I don't much understand basketball, but it don't work that way. For me, for me at least. So it's a great confidence booster to go for it, you know? Because at the end of the day too, you have to think, you know, what really is failure? Sometimes failure just crushes us. For what? Why are we scared of failure? Things don't go the way we planned them out in our head. Why does that bother us? You know what? It doesn't change who we are as a person. I'm still the same person I was before I tried. It doesn't diminish me any as a person. It doesn't make me less of a person. People who know about it might laugh at us, but obviously they're not, you know, the type of people that you probably need to be hanging out with anyway. When people laugh at your failures, they're probably pretty unhappy people. You never see like a super happy, just like dialed in, enlightened person laughing at someone else's failure. So there's a little silver lining when you fail. The people who laugh at you, maybe not, you know, keep them in your life much longer. Anyway, people might laugh at you, say whatever, but you're still the same person. Nothing has changed. And guess what? Now you have some valuable experience, and it also is helping you to get over failure. So I know for me, what I'm going to start trying to do is just go for stuff a lot more often. Like I feel like I do attempt in certain areas of my life, like I attempt things that, you know, a lot of people might be like, I just go for them. It don't bother me. But in other areas of my life, I'm still very reserved. I'm still very timid. I still try to wait for the perfect indicators. I'm always trying to, like, I always think, hold on. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. I really almost went down that time. It's like that perfect day where it's snowy, but the sun's out, so it's been out the last couple days, so there's a ton of ice. Almost went down that time. That wouldn't have been good. Yeah, but there's areas in my life where I still try to wait for the perfect indicators. I like to think like I have this sixth sense and I can tell when things are right. I totally don't. But I like to be like, ooh, if this happens, then that means I should probably go for it. And then, but yeah, I think I'm just gonna start shooting my shot. Whatever. I don't care. I don't care what people think about what I'm doing. I don't care, you know, if it fails. You know, I feel like I'm starting to get to the point where I want to try things and fail at them, just so, like I said, failure won't bother me. I want stuff to go wrong. I want to get rejected. I want to get to that point where rejection means nothing to me. I want to be just like my buddy Andy, where I'd just be like, well, their loss, you know, or just like, well, people figure out later that was a mistake on their part. You're like, I want to get there. Like, so, and the only way to do that is you just keep pushing the envelope, keep taking more chances, keep being unafraid to fail. Because at the end of the day, like, you have nothing to lose. That's why I'm like, why does failure hurt us so much when at the end of the day, we're all going to fail at this whole life thing? Like, none of us get out alive. Like, we already know the ultimate failure is coming. The ultimate rejection is coming. You know, the Grim Reaper don't let nobody win. You know what I'm saying? He rejects us all. Nope. I had a flash. I just thought about Willy Wonka, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the original one, not this new one, kids. And you know where they put the egg on the scale and it says good egg or bad egg. Like in the egg scale of life, the Grim Reaper hits bad egg on all of us, you know? Like, we're all gonna ultimately fail. So why do we fear these little failures along the way? Like, it kind of makes no sense. Because failure actually helps us. It helps us grow. It helps us get to the point where, you know, we don't care about it. And like I said, I don't know if I could ever get to the point where I don't care about failure, I don't care about rejection, ain't gonna be no stopping me then. And I'm sure same is true for all of y'all. I feel like a lot of y'all are probably a lot closer to that than me. Y'all know how good it feels. We all gonna be like my buddy Andy one day and just not care. Anyway, that was my thought for the day. Really enjoyed having this walk and talk. I don't know why I keep looking around. There's nobody in the park. So I keep hearing sounds and I'm like looking around. There's nothing there. There's a couple of birds, that's it. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. My message today, yeah, just shoot your shot. Take your opportunities. Don't be afraid to fail. Just go for it. Like, I'm out of here.